Young Turks, FANalyst week number 15. Yo, we're serious this week, man. This is playoff time. Now, a lot of you are going into the playoffs, and you got to know who to start and who not to start. We're not talking about trades anymore. We're not talking about pickups. We're talking about you got a choice between, I don't know, Matt Cassell and Brett Favre. Who are you going to start?
We go out, we hit people in the mouth. Number one.
That's number one, okay? So who are your guys that are going to hit people in the mouth? All right, first, let me start with something obvious. How right was I about Phillip Rivers and D'Angelo Williams? I told you to pick him up earlier. I told you to trade him for him earlier, right? Now, if you got him on your team, don't make any kind of mistake. Start. Point number two, that's obvious. Reggie Wayne. Now, he's had a couple of off weeks, so you might get tempted to bench him. Don't even think about it. I think he is going to blow up against the Lions. He's going to shred them to pieces. Now, I think those are pretty obvious. I don't have to tell you the obvious ones like, hey, maybe you should start Drew Brees. Of course you start Drew Brees. So let's get to the borderline cases. Vincent Jackson of the Chargers. Now, this guy can go up and down. It depends on whether Chris Chambers is in the game. And Chris Chambers has not been in the game for a while. He started, but he didn't do well. I think it's his ankle. It's still bothering him. And if Chambers isn't playing, Jackson does well. So I say start Vincent Jackson. And then we go to Matt Ryan. Now, here's a guy who's playing against Tampa. He got murdered by Tampa last time. The flip side, and Tampa theoretically has a tough defense, although they gave up 38 last week. But what I love about Matt Ryan is his consistency. In our league, he gives you about 20 points every week, which doesn't blow you away, but that's solid. If I was you and I had Matt Ryan on my team, assuming you don't have an outstanding quarterback, I'd start Matt Ryan. And now we go to the Tennessee Titans running backs. Which one should I start? No. If you got them, you start them both. If you have them both, great. You're doing great. I would start both of them on your team. But Lendell White, some people have him on their bench. Don't do it. Can't do it. The man's a touchdown scoring machine. Even though that slowed down a little bit, look at that. Last week he got 99 yards. They're playing against the Texans. Start them both. And then finally we go to Matt Cassell on the starts. Again, a couple of weeks where he wasn't that great, although he rallied at the end of last week. But he was blown up before that. I think he's going to be terrific against the Raiders, whose secondary, as we found out, is way overrated. I'd definitely start Matt Cassell. Now, on to people you shouldn't start.
Cannot play with him. Cannot win with him. Cannot coach with him. Can't do it.
Can't do it. Don't do it. Number one on the list by a landslide, Willie Parker.
Can't do it.
Don't even think about it, man. Oh, he's back. I had him on my bench. I can't wait to play him. It's the playoffs. Finally, I'm going to get a chance to use him. Don't do it, man. They're playing against Baltimore, and he's not back. He's just not recovered from the injury. He's going to give you a donut. He's going to just don't even think about it. Now, the second one's a little trickier. Tim Hightower.
Can't do it.
Don't do it. Here's the situation with Hightower. Goes up and down a little bit, had a touchdown last week, but if you take away his touchdown, and he's had 10 touchdowns, I know, right? But if you take away his touchdown, then he didn't have much left after that. And they're playing against the Vikings, which is a pretty tough defense. Now, I'd start all the other Cardinals, because I think with Anquan Bolden, again, a bad couple of weeks, but he's a terrific player. Larry Fitzgerald, Kurt Warner, I wouldn't mess around with those guys. They've been kicking ass all year. As long as they're consistent, you stay with them, right? But Tim Hightower, for this week, I'd stay away from him. Now, I got three that are gambles. And I don't like gambling. I don't like gambling in the playoffs. But if you're desperate, you made it into the playoffs and you're lacking a quarterback or whatever it might be. Brett Favre, man, he's streaky, you know. And so he can streak in the right direction. Against Buffalo, I doubt it. Overall, I'd say, can't do it.
Cannot win with him.
I don't think so, but we'll see. But if you're desperate, Kevin Walter, up and down, up and down. They're playing against Tennessee. I bet he goes down. I wouldn't do it, but I might do it next week, because he's had some great weeks with the Texans. And Steven Jackson, finally. I know you've been waiting all year. I know he seems to be back. Again, if you're desperate and you want a big impact player who can score a lot, you go with Steven Jackson. But overall, that Rams team, that Steven Jackson, can't do it.
Cannot play with him.
I wouldn't suggest it. All right, I hope that's helpful. Oh, one last thing for you. Vicente Cianco, my old friend from the Vikings, flashed some brilliance last week. He also flashed something else last week, as you might have heard. I know he goes up and down a little bit. Okay, he does. I'm not playing, right? But overall, he's been pretty solid for a tight end. No, seriously, if you got Cianco and you don't have a better option, I wouldn't hesitate in starting him at tight end as well. I hope that helps. Go get him. Win in the playoffs so we can talk again next week. Young Turks.